up, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH After Show. Let's cut to the chase. Nikolas Cassadine is alive, and I don't think any of us are really shocked by it. The show's been kind of leading up to it for a while, but we didn't know who would play him. We thought Tyler Christopher might play him, but instead it's the actor Marcus Coloma. Now, he is just a few years younger than Tyler Christopher, but a lot of people are saying he looks way, way younger. But for me, I'm okay with that because Nikolas is actually supposed to be younger than Tyler Christopher was, so this is about the age that Nikolas should look. So yes, I think he looks the part, but I can't really comment on his acting yet because he's only really had like one line in the two scenes that he was in, so I guess we'll see. Now let's talk about how that happened. So as you guys know, Ava has thought that someone's been watching her for weeks on end, and on Halloween night there was a party at the Metro Court, and a man in a mask shows up at the party and is kind of paying attention to Ava. He does bump into Laura and doesn't say anything, and that for some reason doesn't unfaze Laura even slightly. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I feel like Laura would be able to sense that her son was in the room or just get some weird feeling about him, but she seemed pretty unfazed even though he didn't even respond to her saying sorry for bumping into him. And then when Ava leaves, Nikolas beelines it towards the elevator right in front of Ava, and as the door shuts she sees him and goes into shock. Anyway, Ava is going back to her gallery because she overheard Valentine and Nina and Laura and Jax talking about the painting of Helena Cassadine that she has, and finds out that it's a lot more valuable than she thinks, and she's going to go and try to sell the thing. I'm actually surprised about that. I feel like she wants to bring Valentine Cassadine down too and would help Laura, but no, she's trying to sell it right off the bat. That makes me mad. Now at the gallery, Ava hears someone coming through the front door, so she hides in the back. The man in the mask walks into the main part of the gallery, and she comes out with a gun and threatens him and says, "Take your mask off." And lo and behold, there is Nikolas Cassadine, whatever the weird Russian middle names are in between that.
Nicholas, Mikhail, Stavrosovich, Cassadine.
And she is so shocked that she faints, and when she comes to, he is gone. And I guess Nikolas works fast because he got rid of the footage of him being in the gallery already. Wild. Laura shows up to the gallery, obviously looking for the painting, but Ava is like, "Nikolas is alive, have you seen him?" And Laura's just like, "There is no way that's true." And she says something to the effect of, "People just don't come back from the dead, Ava, it's not possible." And I'm sitting there looking at Laura like, yo, you came back from the dead, your son Lucky came back from the dead, Luke came back from the dead, Nikolas already came back from the dead once already, and let's see, who else? Ryan Chamberlain came back from the dead, Robert came back from the dead. So many people in her life, Sonny and Jason came back from the dead, so many people in her lives came back from the dead, and she says that? Are you kidding me? I was like, girl, check yourself. Poor Ava. Laura managed to convince her that she's crazy, and Ava actually checks herself into Shady Brook. Really heartbreaking scenes to watch, but you know, I mean, she is somewhat having a meltdown, so I guess Shady Brook is a good place for her, but over this, I'm like, no, she knows the truth. Nikolas is alive. And of course, Nikolas ends up at Jax's house, and Jax and Hayden aren't surprised. So obviously the theory that they were working for Nikolas is clearly true. I knew that when this whole storyline began. I didn't think for a second that Spencer was, you know, who they were working for. Jax wouldn't work for a kid, even one that he raised for a minute. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Anyway, were you guys shocked by this reveal? Do you like the new actor? I know it's kind of early to tell, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, sticking to the topic of the Cassadines, Valentine is feeling the heat a little bit because Michael has been holding the fact that he was involved in the whole Sasha debacle over Valentine's head and threatening him, saying that if you don't get Nina to drop the charges, I will let her know the truth and let everyone know the truth about what you did and your involvement. And he manages to convince Nina to drop the charges. I just hope still that Nina is playing him. I'm banking on that fact. Like, please be playing him, Nina. Don't be this stupid again, please. Valentine is also getting a little bit of heat from Laura, as he always does. I mean, she's saying to him, I don't think your, lead at the table of the Cassadine state is going to last much longer. And he's like, what, is Spencer gonna take it? Because I'll threaten him too, I'll take him down. He's a kid, you pathetic little man. He's a kid. But Nikolas is obviously the one that's going to be back at the head. If only Laura knew that fact. Lots of Cassadine stuff to talk about today though. Alexis has been getting poisoned by Kendra, that's Kiefer's sister, and the effects are starting to take place. She wasn't feeling good when she was on a date with Neil, and she passes out and doesn't wake up until Molly is literally shaking her, thinking that she's dead or something. And then Molly takes her to the hospital to get checked out. she's got rashes on her hands and she's feeling really sick. And I'm sure that Finn will figure out what's going on, hopefully, just in time for Molly possibly getting engaged. That's right, TJ is contemplating proposing to Molly, and Jordan, for some reason, is not on board with it, even though she loves Molly. She just came up with some bizarre, unnecessary, spiel about, he needs to see his life and, see if there's other options out there. Girl, why? This young woman, Molly, taught your son how to read back in the day, and now he's becoming a doctor. You can't get better than Molly. It just made no sense to me at all. How do I feel about Molly and TJ getting engaged? Over the moon. It just sucks that they never get any stories or any screen time. I love them. They're just adorable. They're great actors, and I want to see more of them. But, what's going to happen once they get married? They're just going to disappear forever, probably. Now, the only other Cassadine to talk about is Sam McCall, who is in Pentonville right now. She had been alone in her cell because the girl that was supposed to be her cellmate was in solitaire for beating up whoever her last cellmate was. And it turns out that woman in solitaire was Cassandra Pierce. I'm sorry, that woman doesn't look like she can beat up a flea short of, having drugs in front of her. But somehow in solitaire, she managed to get a hold of a knife and threaten Sam with it. How is Pentonville even still a running facility? Ryan managed to kill someone with a pen, but somehow Cassandra gets a hold of a knife? This is wild. Anyway, Sam is hopeful to get out of jail because she's having a bench trial soon. And do I think that she's going to get out from that bench trial? No. Only because every storyline has been dragging out. And I feel like this one is going to be no exception. Actually, the only one that hasn't drawn out was the Finn finding out that he has a daughter one. Let's talk about that. I guess this week there's not a whole lot to report on it, so it is slowing down just a wee bit. But Hayden is allowing Finn to decide how much he wants to be a part of his daughter's life. They're having scenes of bonding, him and Violet, his daughter. But it's up to him at this point how much he wants to be a part of his daughter's life, and I think he'll want to be in full throttle. I mean, I don't know where that will leave him and Anna, but Anna's been off screen for so long, and I feel like Finola's vacation seems a lot longer than usual. I feel like she's usually back by September, and we're already in November. I don't know what's going on. Hayden also told Elizabeth that she has a daughter, so that's at least one good thing going on in Elizabeth's world. Let's talk about that. Now, at the beginning of this week, Franco won his court case, and I wasn't really surprised about that given Kevin's testimony. Scott wasn't happy about that and actually punched Kevin out, and I honestly don't blame him. This poor man, I actually feel really bad for Scott, even though he's pretty scummy in general, but dude has lost both of his parents and his son within a span of just a couple of years. So I actually sympathize for him, and Scott is desperate enough to go to Sonny for help. I don't really think that Sonny's going to help. He certainly does sympathize, even more so since he and Laura had a talk about Scott and where he's coming from. But I don't know. I don't think that Sonny's going to do anything. Besides, Franco is not going to leave town right away. He's putting the brakes on him and Kim's relationship because she is clearly not well, and she did not take that well at all. He's going to be there for her and wants to spend the rest of his life with her, but not until she gets help. And she's just an angry mess. She's slapping Julian and blaming him for things, and she just won't get help. Girl, get help. You are sick in the head right now. I know other people have brought this up, but honestly, what would she have done if Cameron got Drew's memories? What? I don't even want to think about it. Would she go for him? At this point, I wouldn't doubt it. She seems that sick in the head. For me personally, I think the best scenes that came out of this whole Franco court case debacle belong to Cam and Trina. Cam stormed out of the courtroom, devastated, and he and Trina went to the gym so that he could just punch out his feelings, and she held the bag for him while he punched it out until he basically broke down into tears. Trina is such a ride or die friend. Trina is someone that I would want in my corner, okay? She just held him tight and let him just ugly cry into her arms. I love her. I love Trina so much. Those scenes were so good, and they honestly had me a little bit choked. They were really well done scenes. Cameron is understandably a bit of a wreck right now. On Halloween, he decides to fill up a Coke bottle with alcohol and bring it to the high school party at the Haunted Star. And Jocelyn is also in pain at this point because, she's not over the fact that she's getting over Oscar now. honestly, I'm kind of digging Cameron as a bad boy right now. I mean, when you look at what Elizabeth was like when she was a teenager, and his father, Xander, what he was like, this isn't surprising, and it's nice to see him kind of be a bit of a mess. But I think my favorite part of this storyline was both Cameron and Jocelyn's parents' reaction. It wasn't unrealistic. It was kind of just like, okay, yeah, they're at the age where they might underage drink and we can't really talk because we were the same way when we were kids. And Elizabeth kind of had a bit of a sense of humor to it. You know, she was like, your punishment is that you're going to feel every bit of this hangover in the morning. You'll get a couple of aspirins. I am putting you on no IV. I loved that reaction. I guess the only kind of weird thing about that is that this could have some ramifications for Cameron's parole. I don't know what the outcome will be of that, but I guess we'll find out probably this week, I'm assuming. And Carly's reaction was, you know, I'm going to let you puke in the toilet for a while, and we'll talk about this in the morning. You're going to take whatever punishment the principal gives you, and obviously, you know, Carly and Jax are going to have a good talk with her once she's sobered up. So, I don't know. I just really like that realistic approach to this story. Alright, now let's talk about Brad and Lucas. So, Julian is the one setting up Brad to make it look like Brad is having an affair and cheating on Lucas. Called it! And Julian hires this guy to basically send dick pics to Brad's phone. Shocking how Julian realized that Lucas would be the one to stumble upon them, but you know, soaps. Lucas is pissed, and honestly, I don't feel even slightly sorry for Brad. Brad, you made your bed when you were trying to pass off Michael's son as your own, and if Julian wants to get Brad out of Lucas's life, more power to him. One way or the other, the truth is eventually going to come out about Jonah, so whatever. In the meantime, if Julian wants to make Brad squirm, I'm here for it. Anyway, I hope that you guys had a good Halloween. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite costume on the show was. For me, Ava as Cruella DeVille was champion, and I actually really loved Laura as Queen of Hearts too. Honestly, anytime they do something with Laura's hair is like a good day for me. And also Willow and Chase as Jesse and Buzz, super cute as well. I enjoyed, actually to be fair, I enjoyed a lot of the costumes on the show. They always go with really great choices for all the characters, and this year was no exception. But yeah, what did you think of GH as a whole as well? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.